So guys, good evening. We are back with one more Facebook Live for this IIHM Education Culinary Tour. We are here at DARYAGANJ Restaurant in Immerse Mall for the team dinner. We are with Ms. Shipra Mishra here. Now she'll be explaining us and all the students about the authenticity of the restaurant. Ma'am, over to you.
So, I hope you all know, and everybody knows that, it's a known fact that butter chicken was invented by Kundan Jaggi. So, in our restaurant, all the culinary recipes, we are celebrating the legacy of Kundan Jaggi, and they are all, mostly coming from 1947, right? And they straight coming from him to us. So, first I'll tell you about the story of butter chicken. So, Kundan Jaggi, he owned a restaurant himself, and he was a Peshawari. And when partition happened, and they came and they started their own restaurant, few of his friends together in the bylanes of Daryaganj, the place Daryaganj, and that was an iconic restaurant in itself. So that's from where this whole journey had started. And what happened one night, so he was having his own dhaba, and one night what happened, a truckload of refugees came to him to ask for food, and the food was not sufficient. So all in his dhaba, in the kitchen at that point in time, he had was tandoori chicken. Now that wasn't sufficient. So he immediately at that point in time, to feed the truckload of refugees, he immediately kind of, picked up some tomatoes, some butter, very minimalistic of masalas at that time, what used to be. And he just kind of, made a gravy out of that, and he dunked in the tandoori chicken into it, and he served that, and everybody loved it so much. So that's how the tandoori chicken came into being, right? And when you saw the original tandoori chicken that we are serving over here, so this is the original tandoori chicken. Now, if you see, this has a very coarse texture, chunky texture, right? Yeah. And why is it chunky texture is because at that point in time, there were no, absolutely, they didn't have any mixies and grinders. So how he had to create the gravy is by doing that chop. Okay, there were no pasteurized creams at that point in time. So there was only butter. So there was a play of, so you see, will be very unlike that creamy, heavy, all that kind of a gravy. Huh? So it's complete play of, and you see, this is the tandoori chicken that goes in. Okay. Now what was really with the bone, absolutely. And this is the charring. You can see the charring of the tandoori chicken in this. Okay, and right. And there's no malai, creamy, sweet, overdone kind of a thing. And what was very important is, as you all know, meats, the chicken at that point in time used to be only 700-800 grams of weight. And the meat is always juicier, tender in the smaller versions. Then later came the broilers and all. So today we also use that kind of chicken size to make it juicier. So you will see the chicken legs are smaller because they're juicy because using the smaller version. Okay, so this is so important to understand the original butter chicken. Now, as things have evolved over a period of time, and chefs evolved and they played with the dishes, somebody put koya, somebody put mawa, then the machines came, gadgets came, and we started creating and making smooth textured gravies, right? So that's why some customers they want, and we have on the menu, which is today's butter chicken. So if you see, this is satin smooth, kind of a gravy, and it is a little cream into it and all of this. But this doesn't have cream and everything. So that is a differentiator, a huge differentiator between the two. And this is how this dish is, and this is how authentic it is. And every time when we make it, it is actually fresh on the pan. So it comes to you fresh on the pan, this particular dish. If you see, you would feel on your palate a lot of freshness in the food. So the story of the tandoori chicken. So tandoori chicken goes back to 1920, and you have the story out over here, and you have this menu. You can see it's so this is the first photo of Kundan Jaggi and how his team was and how the tandoor was at that point in time. Yeah. So you go through the entire legacy that we have on the menu, and tandoori. So we were talking about tandoori chicken. So you know how tandoori chicken came into being in 1920. Mukesh Singh actually owned a restaurant, and at that point in time in 1920s, there used to be a lot of these Mughal heavy gravies. Yeah. So one customer walked in and he wanted to eat something very light. So at that point in time, tandoori chicken was made in the oven, and that's how tandoori chicken was. And that was the first time the oven, the tandoor was being used for making a meat other than breads. But who popularized tandoor for making meats was Kundan Jaggi. So then tandoori chicken was popularized, by Kundan Jaggi, and a lot of tandoori recipes came into being. We used it for barra, and we have barra on the menu, and a lot of tandoor came into being. And because that is the popularization of it being used other than the breads was done by Kundan Jaggi. Yes. So you had on the starter was chicken pakoda.
Yes.
Right? So chicken pakoda was also invention of Kundan Jaggi. So he is basically Peshawari, and when we came over here and during this monsoon time, people were making vegetable pakoda. So he used the same marination of this chicken tikka kind of a thing, chicken, tandoori chicken kind of thing, and used it in the same basin because they were heavy, they used to eat a lot of meat. So he made that. So we're using the same recipe, but what we're using is using a boneless portion, but in the same kind of a manner. So all our recipes over here are direct passing to us from Kundan Jaggi. So Daryaganj restaurant is actually a revival of the legacy of Kundan Jaggi, and it was brought into being by Raghav Jaggi, the grandson of Kundan Jaggi, along with his childhood friend Amit Bagga. So Mr. Bagga and Kundan Jaggi have revived this legacy, and they felt that the whole food, how it had started at that point in time, has become very different. So that's why they coined it by the street it had started from, Daryaganj. That's what the restaurant name is, Daryaganj. Right? So if dal makhani that you're having, so dal makhani was also invented by Kundan Jaggi. It's okay. So you ate all, it's not left over, it's a great sign. I'm very happy you all ate all. So the dal makhani that you see, yeah, and you would have tasted, you would have really felt the creamy texture of the dal on your palate, not coming out of the heaviness of the cream, but from the creamier makhani is coming from the lentils, how they cook for slow and long hours. Now the story behind, yes.
It's very smooth, very delicious.
Okay, wow, nice. So how dal makhani came into being is one of his manager, Kundan Jaggi's manager, Sucha Singh. He was there and he said, why don't we do and add a little tomato and the same makhani gravy to that. And this is how that whole thing came into being. Otherwise it was old Punjabi makhani. And tomatoes were added to it and gravy was added to it. Now in that entire culinary thing that you see, dishes on the table, you would see all of them are so less on the spice. There are no masalas and masalas. They are bare minimalistic masalas, and which were at that point in time, and all fresh. So you get that freshness of food. If you had the kalonji naan, we use naan, we use the kalonji in it, and if you stretch the naan in the bread, you will see it's not elastic like a rubber, but it is like a fermented bread, because that's how the naan are. And in that point in time, we used to put kalonji on top of it, so that's what we use. Yeah. So I hope you really enjoy this service, and we're very happy once again to host the young budding, chefs of the country, and I wish you all the best that you shall also, like Kundan Jaggi starting this thing, be getting that blessings to create your own country.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So guys, thank you so much. do connect with us because tomorrow this entire tour, all these students, they are moving. They'll be traveling towards Goa, and then that will be the fourth leg of IIHM Culinary Education Tour. Stay tuned on our pages for more updates. Thank you so much.
For a great hospitality career, call 98310 50,000.